Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone had a great Easter and that you were able to spend some fun time with your family and enjoy the holiday. Um, Today, your homework is getting back into the swing of things. I will have a Zoom meeting at 10 and this evening at 7. That's going to start to change here just a little bit. I'll have an email that goes out later on today, probably, or at least at the latest tomorrow. I'm going to be switching up my Zoom times a little bit, trying to get more people involved in some of these meetings. So, like I said, today's assignments shouldn't be too hard. Third and fourth graders, and anyone else that would like to take it for that fact, you guys have a link to your quiz for social studies. On that social studies quiz, it's just a place where they give you the name of the continent or ocean, and you got to click where it goes. Just like our spelling test, if you could take a picture of the results at the end and send it to me, that'd be awesome. Make sure you don't be no peeking at the answers when you're taking that test. All right. For spelling today, we're starting Unit 27. You need to do the first 2 pages since we didn't have school yesterday. So page 1 and 2 and write those words out 2 times on a separate piece of paper. Again, there will be a spelling test on Friday, and please send me your spelling words that you've written 2 times on a piece of paper just so I can see them. All right. All right, so let's get into the heart of stuff. Today, what we're going to be looking at third or kindergarten in math, we're going to be talking about our left hand and our right hand. Our right hand, that's the hand that Mr. Holman writes with, so that's easy to remember. Right, right. And I'm pretty sure, Lauren, you're right-handed too. The other hand is called your left, and if you look at your left hand, if you look at it, it makes the letter L, like Lauren, if you look at your L. Okay, so we have our right and our left. Then we have our top and our bottom. Top is on top, bottom's on bottom. So they give you 4 circles, and you're going to have to color that tells you either the top or the bottom, the right or the left. Okay, so really work on that right and left. I'm going to talk to you about a little bit about that today when we get into our Zoom meeting as well before our Super Kids stuff, because we're going to be finishing up our Super Kids B stuff this afternoon. On the back side of that page, you have a dot to dot. Make sure you start at 1 and go all the way up to 20. And then when you're all done, color it for me nice and neatly. All right? Tomorrow I'll be sending home a couple more worksheets with regards to our new letter that we're going to be starting for Super Kids. All right, first graders, your math is very simple. It's a math assessment. So the first part, it's only one side. The first part is dealing with some adding and subtracting problems. On the top part of the next page, on assessment 19, the first one says Lucy drew 10 pictures. She sent 2 of them to her grandmother. Draw a picture and write a number sentence. So she drew 10 and she sent 2 of them to grandma. How many were left? So you have to decide, is that an adding or subtracting problem? Start off by drawing 10. You can just do rectangles in that box and then decide, do you have to cross off 2 or add 2 more? And then write your answer where it says how many pictures at the very bottom. Number 2 says color the 2 congruent shapes. So remember, same shape and same size. They have to be the same size as well, so there's 2 of them there. Number 3, you got to color those or divide those into fourths, 4 equal parts. Can't be the same way on both. There's two squares there. Make sure you do it 2 separate ways. Number 4, there's going to be 1 dime and the rest are pennies. It says color the pennies all brown, and then how much money. Remember how many dimes, that's your first number. How many pennies, that's your last number. And then number 5 at the bottom, you got to finish the pattern. So the first part, you're counting backwards by 1s, then you're counting up by 2s, and then counting up by 5s. All right? Like I said, it's only one side, so it's pretty simple today. I don't think you guys should have any issue. With your language, I sent a link with the email yesterday. I attached your language assignment. This was about writing sentences. Make sure you start those sentences always with a capital letter. Put good spacing in between your words, and then when it's a statement, they always end with a period. I want to see real nice, neat, good, well-written sentences there. All right, it shouldn't be too hard. There's only 4 of them, and it's just really keep working, reminding ourselves sentences always start with capital letters, and they always end with periods, written nice and neat, and especially with spacing. Make sure you put good spaces in between each one of those words. Okay. Second graders, today in your math class, The new concept is this. It's going to give you two numbers like this, 24 and 37. And then you have to round each one of those. So 24 is between, I'm going to put it up here on the board like we've been doing, 20 and 30. Okay, and because we look at the 4, which one is the answer? That is 20. Okay, and then we do the same thing for 37 on the other side. 37 is between 30 and 40. We look at the 7, and the 7 tells us we use the 40. So then at the bottom, it's going to have, underneath it, it's going to have 4 choices. And so like for this one is 20 and 40. You're going to be looking for the problem that says 20 equals, or 20 plus 40 equals 70. So for number 2, that's exactly what you're doing. They give you 2 choices there. And you're going to pretend like they say, find the estimate of those numbers and then add them and write the answer. So you got to tell me which one's the right way to do the estimate of those ones and write the answer there. Don't forget to draw your lines for your name and your date at the top. Use your rulers. Number 1 on the top, it says Amber had 5 dimes and 8 pennies. Elaine had 6 pennies and 3 dimes. How much did each person have? Remember, the dime number, how many dimes she has, that number goes first. The pennies goes the number behind it. Be careful because like with Elaine, they tried to trick you because they put the pennies first and then the dimes. They really want you to make sure you do that. Then it says how much did they have all together. So you got to add those 2 numbers up. Use that workspace box to the right there to answer that question. Number 3, it says color 3/4 of those circles. That should be pretty simple. Number 4 is what we've been working with dividing things in half equally. Remember, if they're not equal numbers, you got to take one off, put it in the extra box, and solve that. Number 5, you have some dimes. The small ones are dimes. Then we have some nickels, and then we have 1 penny at the end. You got to tell me how much money that is. Remember a dime? How much is a dime worth? 10 cents. A penny's worth 1, and a nickel 5. Good. Number 6, got to find the answers. 2 of them are adding and 2 of them are subtracting. Make sure you're careful with the borrowing those on the subtracting. Make sure the number on top is smaller. Make sure you don't subtract it. You've got to borrow. Everything on the back is exactly the same, just different numbers. So I'm not going to go over that. I think you guys should be able to do it pretty simply. Not too difficult at all. For your language today, 2nd graders, you're dealing with more like, we call these proper nouns that we should be capitalizing. So we have months, our holidays, and our special days. We know all our 12 months: January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. When you write those months, you always capitalize them. You always start them with a big letter. So on the first page, on page 170, you are going to number your sentence or page 1 through 6, and you got to find the 6 months in that paragraph that Kathy wrote in her story where she forgot to capitalize the month and rewrite it correctly on your paper. So you got to find all 6 of them and make sure you write them. When you rewrite them, it's a capital letter. Make sure I can tell that it's a capital letter too. Then you'll flip your paper over because then on the other side is dealing with special days. I want you to think about your favorite holiday. My favorite holiday would be 4th of July. Ooh, I like 4th of July. That's a fun day. 4th of July, when we write that, we always start it with a capital letter. If I was going to write it, I write 4th. Now, is that an important word? No. But then July is, of course, a month. So I would write it like that, 4th of July. Well, maybe let's say your favorite holiday is, let's say Valentine's Day. You like getting all the candy on Valentine's Day. When you have the word day, like Valentine's Day or Mother's Day, Father's Day, Memorial Day, you always capitalize the D in day and the name of the holiday as well. So it's very important that you capitalize that. So what you're going to have to do is on page 171, you have to rewrite that paragraph. And I think there's 10 mistakes of words or holidays that were not written correctly, and you need to rewrite it. And when you rewrite it, write those words with the right capital letters. If you need help with those and you forget which words should be capitalized, look above on. There's some examples or some clues, some helpers up here that will help you rewrite that paragraph down there. Okay, so take your time. Make sure you write nice and neat so I can see everything and read it very clearly. And it shouldn't be too hard, I don't think. All right. All right. Have a great day there, second graders, third graders. For your math. Today, your math lesson is on lesson 87, and you're going to be looking at capacity. And I put in my email or my little note about this that you should take a look at the chart on page 472. I'm going to take my camera here and flip it around so I can show you it. If it will let me. Well, I'll just go here like this, I guess. All right. This is the part of the box I want you to take a look at. Capacity is how much liquid something can hold. So you might have a cup, you could have a quart, a pint, a half gallon, and then a gallon. A gallon's like the big jug of milk that you would get at the store. Half gallon's kind of like the smaller one, all the way down to 1 cup, which is almost kind of like a mug. Like that's about, here's my coffee today. It's about a cup. Maybe that's a little bigger than a cup. I like a big coffee mug. So on this page, to figure out how many things there are, there's 2 cups make up a pint. So if we had 2 of those, we could make a pint. And now if we had 2 pints, that would make a quart. 2 quarts make up a half gallon. 2 half gallons make up a gallon. So if we were trying to figure out how to get how many cups were in a gallon, you just keep multiplying by 2. So what's 2 times 2? 4. So we know that there's 4 cups in a quart. So then what's 4 times 2? 8. There's 8 cups in a half gallon. 8 times 2? 16. There's 16 cups in a gallon. So if you have a gallon of milk, that means there's 16 cups. You should be able to drink 16 cups of milk there in that time. Okay, so those are those things that you should be taking a look at for your assignment today. They'll be asking you some things like put these in order from smallest to biggest, or how many cups or quarts there are. If there's questions, don't feel free to give me a question. Shoot me a phone call or a text. All right, so 1, 2, and 3 are just word problems. For number 2, it says draw a picture to represent it. You don't have to do that. But everything else should be fairly normal there. Number 4 deals with calendars. Just remember how many months are there, and it says half of the year is how many months. Number 5, tell me how much money she should get back. Number 6, put those in order from shortest to longest. 7, what fraction of a gallon is equal to a quart? So if you got to tell me how many quarts equal a gallon. That's your bottom number, and it says a quart, so that's 1. 1 will be on your top. Number 8 is multiple choice. 9 is multiplying. 10 and 11 is multiple choice. 12, find the missing letter. So 7 times what equals 28. Number 13 is a little interesting. It says, look at this. It says each number is doubled the number in front of it. So 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. So for the next one, you have to do 16 plus 16. Write your answer, then take that answer and add it by itself, or you can multiply it by 2, either way. But you're going to just keep doubling that number. You got 3 more that you need to figure out there. 14 through 17 are either adding or subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. There's one problem for each. Number 18 is fact family. We did this last week with our multiplying and our dividing. So you got to make sure you do 4 problems, 2 multiplying and 2 dividing problems there. And then 19, you got to use that rectangle there to answer all 4 questions, A, B, C, D. Again, don't forget area. You multiply the length times the width. And don't forget if it's inches, looks like this one's feet. You put the feet or FT, and then you put the little 2 behind it because it says square feet. And then for D, it says perimeter. What do we do there? We add all four sides. Good. Okay, then you got to get a ruler out for number 20 and tell me how many centimeters that is. Okay? I don't think that should be too hard or too difficult for you guys today. For your language assignment today, pretty simple. This is for third and fourth graders and Javon and Dylan. You are going to have to figure out what word that is underlined for E can replace the word that they gave you. So like number 32, have you heard about Terry's perilous trip? What does perilous mean? Does perilous mean safe or dangerous? Ooh, perilous means dangerous. So you're going to write dangerous on your paper for that. That's what you're going to do for 32 through 39. Then 40 through 50, this is what we talked about, the parts of the book: character, who the story's about; plot, what's happening in the story; and then setting is where the story takes place. So you got to read each one of those and tell me which one of those three does it describe. So like 40, a mysterious stranger. That is talking about a character. So you write character on the line. Then 51 through 70, these are all pretty much the same things. What you need to do is you need to rewrite the sentences and add the quotation marks to where they belong in each one of those. Don't forget that sometimes you need to add a missing comma, but you really need to make sure those quotation marks go over what is being said, what someone is talking about in those each one. Okay, so that should be about it for that. Fourth graders, for math, you guys have lesson 78. Remember, if you have any questions about that, you can always go to Mr. Wasser and give him any questions that you might have. All right, so that should be about it for today. I hope everyone has a wonderful Tuesday as we get back into the swing of things. I'm still missing a couple people's book reports, so if you haven't gotten that, please get it to me. Thank you for all those people that keep turning in their homework and sending it to me. That's awesome. Keep up the work, the good work. You guys have been doing some really, really great work. Keep it up. If you haven't had a chance to send in homework, please do so ASAP. This is, I know, a weird time for everyone right now to try to get everything up and going and ready to go. The way we're doing school, but we're doing our best we can, we'll make it through these last couple of months here, month and a half now, of school. So I'm excited to see some of you guys on our Zoom tonight or this morning, and I hope everyone has a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye.